Hi everyone, Heather here with Astrology with Heather.com, and I am back, and this time I'm back with a 2-week forecast for your entire holiday season. And so this forecast is for Monday, December 23rd, all the way through to Sunday, January 5th of 2020. And so this is going to be my very last forecast for 2019 and my very first forecast for 2020. And it's a big 2 weeks ahead. And the reason that I'm doing this in like just a 2-week chunk here is just because I'm going to be taking a little bit of downtime for the holidays. I'm not going to be able to take the time off, but I'm going to at least give myself a few days off and keep it light as we move into this new year, especially because we're having this really powerful eclipse energy. And believe it or not, eclipses impact astrologers too. And so although I think this is going to line up in a more positive way for myself and for my husband, I still want to make space for that and also make space to, utilize the energy of this new moon solar eclipse and the winter solstice to really concentrate, set intentions for the new year, and just spend time with our friends here, in our immediate environment, because we're going to be having a little solstice Yule gathering. So that's what's going on there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful holiday season. And I hope that this forecast helps you to navigate the holiday season, because that's really what this is all about. And it's a big one this year. We have an annular solar eclipse, so a super powerful solar eclipse occurring at the new moon on Christmas Day. And that's going to be kind of a big energy for a lot of people. This holiday season is going to be incredibly transformative. And you might see some of that transformation already beginning in your lives right now. You might see it culminate, or something really big that happens to transform your life or pull you in a new direction that comes during the holidays. And really, this is going to extend throughout January, because we're entering into eclipse season, or I should say we've already entered into eclipse season, because we're coming into that energy. Eclipse season doesn't just begin when the eclipses begin. It starts a couple weeks prior, and it ends after, the final eclipse. Usually 2 weeks after is when I kind of give it that range of eclipse season. But the impact of the eclipses is going to last for days, weeks, months after the eclipses come exact, especially for this first eclipse, because this one is super, actually they're both very strong, but this one is super strong. It's very tight. It's a very close conjunction between the sun, moon, Jupiter, and the south node. And so this one's going to be hugely impactful for anyone who has a lot of really strong energy, really within the first 10 degrees of the earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you'll be experiencing that, especially Taurus and Virgo, a little bit more positively. And for anyone who has a lot of energy at the first 10 degrees of the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Everyone else will still be experiencing this very positively, and we will, of course, talk about this. Well, I shouldn't say everyone will experience it positively. That is not correct, but most people will experience this mostly positively for this first eclipse. But everyone will be experiencing this in some area of life. And it will be predominantly positive, because we do have this energy of the sun, moon, and Jupiter in a conjunction with the south node, Jupiter being the great benefic planet, right? So this is highlighting some of the really wonderful expansion and the opportunities that Jupiter will be bringing and growing and building on over the course of the next 12 months. And so this is something where it's like something is initiated at this time that's very powerful, very fated, very karmic, that continues to grow and expand over the course of this next year, which is very fitting, right? Because we're entering into the new year. And the other thing that's really nice about this eclipse is that it's actually going to be in a really nice trine with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And so the sun comes into a really nice trine with Uranus at the start of the week. Let's see here, on Tuesday, actually, so the day before the eclipse comes exact. And then on Thursday, or actually on Friday, so 2 days after the eclipse comes exact, the sun comes into that exact conjunction with Jupiter. So you can see how tight this is. This is all happening within a couple of days, and it's a very strong energy. And so you have this eclipse that's in a really harmonious aspect with Uranus, which is the great awakener, the planet that brings change and liberation and shakes us out of our current circumstances circumstances, sometimes in ways that are incredibly disruptive and can be unsettling for a lot of people. But in this particular case, this indicates a more positive, more gentle form of liberation and change that's being brought out by this eclipse. I really feel like this eclipse is going to bring some sort of new opportunity for everyone, at least on a small scale, but for some people on a huge, major scale, especially those who are having their solar return near the 25th of December, for you Capricorns out there. And if you are having your solar return near the 25th of December, I highly recommend getting my 2-hour long 1 year solar return forecast, which you can find down in the link in the description below. We go really in depth into your solar return energy, the general energy of the major themes for the year ahead, as well as the more specific detailed circumstances that are being brought about by the transits to your sun for the year ahead. And so you can find that down in the description below. Just as a side note there. But for everyone, this is going to be transformative. This is like a major reset. You can absolutely set your intentions around this time for the coming year. However, you need to make a little bit of wiggle room because your plans will probably change, hopefully for the better. But there is this energy here of needing to change something and needing to make adjustments, and especially prior to this solar eclipse, not really seeing the whole picture when it comes to the opportunities that will be presented to you. So you might take one opportunity or start to go on one path or set your intentions for a certain direction, and you'll find out maybe in a week or two or even in a couple of months that you have this really great opportunity that was stimulated by the eclipses that changes your plans for 2020. So just keep that in mind. The other thing too is that this is about having some sort of opportunity either come back around or utilizing the gifts from your previous experience in order to create something new for yourself because the South Node is involved. This could be a time of bringing out latent talents or gifts that have been forgotten about or neglected from earlier in this lifetime or even from previous lifetime experiences that you were just sort of born with, that you might be able to bring out and utilize in new and exciting and innovative ways to create better circumstances for yourself and to propel yourself in a new direction in life. This could also be just a final release that comes about very easily when it comes to certain responsibilities and structures in your life that you've been working on getting rid of. That's going to be, I think, more so the energy of the second eclipse, where that's going to be very strong and kind of challenging, but you have this opportunity right now to let it go, purge it once and for all, and to do so quite easily if that is something that is available to you or that it's something that you've been wanting to do or needing to do. I will say also that this eclipse energy will be highlighted literally next week, which is the second part of this forecast here, because Mercury will be hitting the eclipse point and Mercury will trine Uranus. And so into next week, that's when we can actually start to see some of the manifestation pretty quickly from the energy of this eclipse. And so we had the eclipse, something is occurring. Definitely whenever there's an eclipse going on, and I always say this in all of my forecasts, pay attention to what is happening. Even if something isn't majorly manifesting in your life at that time, there will be signs and synchronicities and this like strange energy where it seems like something is happening or pulling you in a certain direction for a reason. Even if it doesn't all come about right at that moment, it will come about usually when the eclipse point is triggered later on in the year. And I think I've given an example of this in a previous forecast video, but like last time we had eclipses in the summertime, I had a really strong alignment with my moon with one of the eclipses that was opposing my moon, and I thought that things were going to just happen then because it seemed like there was like all these opportunities that were coming up and all of these really fated like situations that felt super important that came up in my life, and none of them went anywhere at the time of the eclipse. But then when the nodes came and hit the eclipse point, especially in the fall, so October, November, that's when all of these things manifested, but in a different way. So it was like showing me what was about to happen, and some of these things did follow through and were carried out later on in that time frame. But it was like everything was stalled or delayed and it didn't happen. And that's also Saturn, right? Saturn was a part of that eclipse, and so it's part of this eclipse too. It's part of the next eclipse. But it didn't happen until there was that really intense activation. And so that can sometimes be the case. So pay attention to what's going on. Write it down if it feels important, because when it does actually manifest, you're going to be like, wow, that reminds me of this thing that happened back in January, and I thought it was going to be this thing, and then it went in a different direction, or whatever it is for you. So pay attention to those things, because they are going to be important, and they can help guide you too, because maybe it's a sign, maybe it's like some sort of guidance that you're getting or information that you're getting, through the symbolism of what's going on in your life. So just pay attention to what's going on. And this could also be a time where people have really crazy transformative experiences where it's like time is collapsing in on itself, and like months or days or years worth of change occurs all at the same time, but it also feels like it's like taking forever. It's like this really weird thing that tends to happen when you have eclipse manifestations, where it is like time and space make no sense anymore. Everything's happening all at once, but it's also taking forever and dragging on. And it's like, what is going on here? But a lot of times you'll have like so much change and so much growth and transformation that'll happen in such a short period of time that it can be kind of disorienting. And that's one of those things that tends to happen with the eclipses too. And for those who are being hit more strongly by this eclipse, you'll probably have that experience. So again, pay attention to what's going on. That'll bring you guidance, but I think you'll be able to intellectually understand the change that's unfolding and to make plans based on what you're being shown and what's being presented to you the following week, because that's when Mercury, which rules our minds, our communication, it rules our intellectual capacities and our ability to analyze what's going on in our reality. It's going to hit the eclipse point, and it's going to trine that Uranus, and that's going to be a time when we're going to feel inspired to think about things in a new way, where we really easily throughout this next couple of weeks might be able to find really innovative, really positive new solutions to old issues or old problems in our lives, especially because the South Node is involved, right? That's something old, that's something that we're moving past. And so this could be a really great opportunity to harness that energy in order to let go of something or remove something, especially a certain problem or a situation or a relationship even that isn't going in the way that we would want it to. It doesn't mean that we have to completely remove it. Maybe it's moving past a certain circumstance around a relationship or a project or something in our lives. But in either case, it's like a removal of blockages, and that's really what this is bringing. It's a removal of blockages in this like expansive energy where we can see what we can create out of that space where those blockages have been removed. And we've been working on removing some of those blockages on a very physical level and a psycho-emotional level over the past couple of years. And so we've already hopefully done some of the work and created some of that space. And so this is going to be more of an expansive experience for a lot of people. And so that's really what's going on here. So that Mercury trine to Uranus occurs the following week. It's going to happen on the 30th of December, just in time for the new year. So we'll feel really inspired. And then, Mercury comes into that conjunction with Jupiter on Thursday. So it hits the eclipse point on Wednesday. And so that whole week is still just a really positive continuation of the eclipse energy. And so that's also why this is like a 2-week forecast. I mean, I thought about doing it, but then I saw the energy and the way that it sort of connects. And, it just makes sense to kind of put this all together because it's not like two completely different things going on here. It's like a very extended energy of this eclipse. So anyway, that's what's going on there. And I think we're pretty much ready for the forecast for all 12 signs. So I'm going to get into it. And before I do have a couple of quick announcements for the end of the year. I'm still doing my holiday special on my Astrology of Place, Relocation, and Astrocartography webinar. It's 50% off now through January 1st. And so that's a huge discount on like literally my most popular webinar. So many people have taken this webinar. I've gotten almost no negative feedback. Everybody loves it. And so you have an opportunity to take advantage of that. And especially if you're planning travel for the year ahead, or if you're thinking about moving, especially like a long distance move, this will help you to navigate that and to figure out the best locations for you to travel, for you to live, for you to do business, that type of thing. And so the link for that is down in the description below. And if you are a Capricorn, your solar return sun sign forecast is now available, as I've mentioned before. And if you're an Aquarius sun sign, your forecast will be available on January 1st. And you can pre-order right now to get 25% off your forecast. And you'll be the first to receive it when it's available on January 1st. And that's going to be a 2-hour, year-long forecast specifically for your sun sign for your solar return. And I think that's pretty much it. I do have my webinar bundle still available for everyone. That's going to be there for the next couple of months if you want to learn everything. And of course, I have my foundational astrology course for those who want to get the basics covered. And other than that, I'll be announcing some stuff and all of that probably at the start of the year. I'm right now working on just winding down a little bit. So that's what's going on there. Oh, actually, I need this for my forecast. Moving stuff away. So let's get into it. So this is going to be your 2-week forecast beginning with the sign of Aries. And as always, it's best to listen to your rising sign first and your sun sign is secondary. Because this is a really powerful eclipse forecast, I do recommend also listening to your moon sign with the understanding that the impact on your moon is going to be more subjective. It's going to be more lunar. So it's going to be more subjective. It's going to be more emotional, more internal. It's going to have to do with your internal comfort zones as opposed to more of the outward physical manifestation, although there can be some physical manifestation with the moon, especially related to property, your home, your family, your mother, right? These sort of lunar topics that we associate the moon with in astrology. So let's get into it, beginning with Aries and Aries rising. And so for Aries, this is a really powerful reset that's going to bring potentially some really incredible work-related opportunities and financial changes and financial opportunities for you for the year ahead. And so this is pretty exciting. This is something that maybe you have thought about in the past, or you've even done in the past, or maybe you're not aware that you've done it because it's a past life sort of experience that you've had with your career and your public reputation that's coming back around and creating a new opportunity from that space or from that initial foundation that you've created for yourself with your career path for the future. And so this could be a really powerful opportunity to move into a completely new direction with your career. It's going to require that you let go of anything that no longer serves you and that's holding you back with your career, but you've been working on that, right? And so this is more about the opportunities. This could also bring new solutions over these next 2 weeks to old problems, old issues in the workplace, old issues with your career growth and your career development, which is something that you're going to be expanding on really heavily over this next year. This is, potentially you taking some sort of opportunity when it comes to a work-related project or maybe even a new career or a new job that reverberates into your 4th house of the home and family and can lead you in a new direction when it comes to your place of living or your family dynamic in a positive way. And so all of these things are potentials for you. There's still some heavy energy, but that's going to be more prominent coming into January, especially the middle of January. And for right now, it's just a really great time to enjoy potentially some new opportunities. So setting intentions for, creating new opportunities and changing things for yourself in your career, liberating yourself from anything that feels boring, monotonous, any area in your work where you feel like you're lacking independence, you're lacking freedom, anything that's preventing you from having more financial freedom as it relates to your career and your work and your career path in general. This could also be a really incredible opportunity to connect with somebody in a position of power within your field. And so you can connect with somebody maybe who has a business similar to yours that can help you out in some way, or maybe your boss or somebody in a position of authority in your company will recognize you and give you some sort of promotion. It'll probably probably be something that's being carried over from the past, if that is the case, but there's still that opportunity there. So this is going to be a really powerful week for Aries, and definitely a good week for financial and career related changes, or a good 2 weeks, sorry, for financial and career related changes. I would say into next week, you'll start to be able to intellectualize and understand on that logical level what's going on here and what these opportunities are and what you can do with that. And so you'll find new solutions, you'll find ways to innovate, you'll find ways to create a better circumstance for yourself and your career. All right. And for Taurus and for Taurus rising, this is going to be impacting you more personally and more positively. So if you especially are a Taurus rising with your sun, or a Taurus rising or sun sign, or even a moon sign, with your sun, moon, or rising within the first 10 degrees of the sign of Taurus, this is going to be impacting you pretty dramatically in a very positive way. First and foremost, this is occurring in your 9th house, which is the house of your beliefs. It's the house of higher educational pursuits. It's the house of foreign travel. And so all of these themes could come about in the form of an opportunity for you. You might have an opportunity to teach a new course, or to take a new course that you've been wanting to take, to travel, to learn something new, to have an adventure, to have a new experience that really changes your perspective on life in ways that you can't even see until you're there and you're doing it. This could be you connecting with an old teacher or an old form of wisdom, but utilizing it in a new and exciting way in order to make changes to the way that you engage with your reality. This could also bring really positive new relationships, because this is going to be in trine with your ascendant and in sextile with your descendant. And so you could have a new opportunity to engage in relationship with somebody, especially relationship with somebody in a foreign country, or like a new teacher or something like that. But it could just be relationship in general, or it could be you reworking your relationship. So taking an old relationship and changing it, innovating it, finding new ways of solving old problems in relationships, so that way you can create new opportunities out of that space. This would be a really great time to start studying something new. So if you really are thinking about going back to school this year, or, engaging in any sort of higher educational pursuit, now would be a really great time to set those intentions. And it might not be exactly what you think it will be, but it'll definitely be a positive change for you and a positive development in your life. This could also be you wanting to study things that are unusual, that are completely outside of the box, especially for you. And so if unusual for you is something that's a little bit more straightforward and standard and conventional, then that might be it. But if unusual for you is truly unusual and very outside of the box, in terms of just like the collective mindset around it, then this would be a great time to engage with that. But at the very least, this is changing something. So this could be you changing something about your religious and moral, ethical value systems, your belief systems about life, studying new forms of religion that could really bring new opportunities for you in incredible ways. And this is a life-changing eclipse in a very positive, sort of gentle way. Whenever you have an eclipse trine the ascendant and descendant, it can pull you in a whole new path, and it can change your life and change your direction in life, but it usually does it in a more gentle, more positive way, where something is changing, and yes, it's transformative, but it's not like turning you upside down and leaving you like, what the heck just happened? And so that is the energy for Taurus. So I like this energy. It's going to extend into next week too. So this is a 2-week forecast. And again, next week is when you're going to start to really understand and piece things together, and really be able to analyze and put together what you want to do with these opportunities that are presenting themselves, or these old opportunities that are maybe coming back around in your life. This could also be some sort of positive opportunity or positive new beginning related to writing or publishing or disseminating information in some way. So if that's something that's applicable to you, this could bring a new opportunity, like maybe a publishing deal or something like that. And so that's something to think about as well. And definitely, if you want to travel to a foreign country, if you want to go somewhere and explore a different culture, this could be a profoundly life-changing experience for you. So that's something to think about with this new moon annular solar eclipse as well. All right, for Gemini and for Gemini rising, this energy is happening in your 8th house. And so this is a house that it's a little trickier, but it's still, coming about in a positive way. So you've been working really hard on restructuring something when it comes to debt, inheritance, taxes, joint finances, overcoming fears, anxieties, past traumas, past wounds, that type of thing. Maybe dealing with fears or insecurities around death or endings in your life. But now is a time where there's going to be a new beginning in this area. There's still this energy of something old coming back around or having to let go of something. But if that is the case for you, then it's going to happen quite easily. This is going to be a very empowering eclipse for Gemini. I think empowering would be the key word here. It's where you've done the work and now you've faced your fears and you can see what you can create from that space. And you might have new opportunities to create something in that space. You might have new opportunities to invest your money in something that really has meaning for you. You might have new opportunities that come through partnership in finances. You might have new opportunities to pay off debts. Maybe money comes in unexpectedly and you're able to finally release yourself from this old issue, this old karmic connection to financial issues that is no longer serving you, and you can really find a new and innovative and exciting way, a different way of addressing this issue once and for all. This could also of course involve your partner's resources, and so this could be your partner getting a new job or revisiting an old job or getting a bonus from their old job, and that helps you out financially in some way, and releases you from some sort of debt related or tax related obligation in some way. This could also be you dealing with something involving inheritance, and so maybe you've been working on something involving inheritance or like an insurance claim or something like that, and it comes through. But this could also bring a completely new opportunity involving those themes that you've never really thought about before. And so that's part of this as well. This is also just going to be you really, this could be a profound healing for a lot of Geminis, where it's like a deep psychological healing that heals you from the inside out, that heals you from past traumas, that heals you from past mistakes or past issues in your life, that helps you to overcome a lot of your fears that are controlling you psychologically and sort of dictating the decisions and the behaviors that you make. So that's part of this too. But this is going to be a very, I think, internalized time for Geminis. So this is going to be more of a time of spending, this is going to be a good time to spend time in solitude, seclusion, and to connect with people who you have a deep, intimate, really loyal and trustworthy connection with over the holidays, as opposed to connecting with big groups of people and like going to these big crazy parties or something like that. You're not going to feel quite as social on that level, but you're going to want to connect with the people that you truly trust and who are deeply loyal to you. All right, and for Cancer and for Cancer rising, this is happening in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships, especially marriage, partnership, and long-term committed partnerships of all kinds. This is the house that's associated with close friendships, business partnerships, all close personal one-on-one relationships, but especially romantic partnerships and marriage partnerships. And so if you've been struggling in this area, if you've had a lot of hardship, challenge, difficulty related to your relationships this year, now's a time where a new opportunity, maybe for a new relationship or a really exciting new connection, can come in. This could also be a revitalization or a rebirth of an old relationship or an old connection that comes back around in a really new and exciting way. So if you've been struggling maybe with your marriage, this could be you finally releasing the blockages to improving your relationship and doing so once and for all. And, especially if you've been putting in the work, maybe going to couples counseling or something like that, if you've been really putting in the effort and working on yourself as well as the relationship, then this can bring incredible opportunities for you to move in a whole new direction in your partnerships. This is going to be like a reset for your partnerships, especially if you are a Cancer rising anywhere between those first 10 degrees in the sign of Cancer. This is going to be a very strong energy. And for some of you, this might bring in a fated new connection. It's going to be a connection that feels really good, really exciting. It might come through your friends or through your social networks in an unexpected or unusual way, but this would be a connection either romantically or with a new friend or something like that, that would feel very familiar. It would feel like you already know this person and you're destined to connect with this person. And that could happen more than once throughout this time period. You might have a couple of different connections that are very strong that come in, and it's likely that you will, that feel fated, that feel synchronistic, that feel super familiar in a very strange way. But they come about in a very positive way, and these people can help you. They can help you to expand on your relationships. They can help you to become more balanced. They can bring opportunities into your life over this next year. And so that's something definitely to pay attention to. And this could bring, especially coming into the following week, this could bring new innovative inspiration and solutions to old issues in relationships that you've been trying to work on, but maybe you haven't been approaching it the right way. It's going to help you to really think outside of the box and to create better circumstances, especially better communication next week in your relationships moving forward. And it'll help you to understand what's going on here with these changes that are moving you in a new direction in relationship throughout this time. All right, and for Leo rising. So this is actually another good one for career moves. So for Leo rising, this is going to bring potentially some sort of positive opportunity related to work, and especially your day-to-day work routines and what's going on more behind the scenes in your work, as opposed to what's going on out there in the public eye, or like where other people can see it. But it can help you to make really important changes to your overall career goals and plans and to your public status. Because with Uranus moving through Taurus and Uranus in trine with this eclipse, you're changing something about what it is that you're putting out there. You're changing something that you're feeling frustrated with, that feels too controlling or too boring or too stagnant or too stuck when it comes to the way that you go about your career, right? And what it is that you're doing there. So this is going to help to shake you out of complacency in your career path and bring new opportunities for you in a lot of different ways. These opportunities can come through coworkers, through employees, through people that you connect with on a day-to-day basis, through your business or through your work. This could be a change in your work location even that could be experienced very positively for you, where you can have an opportunity for a new office or something like that. That would actually be an interesting one for Leos who work in like an office setting. Maybe you'll get some sort of promotion or some sort of opportunity and you'll move to like a really nice office. If anybody has that happen, let me know, because that would be kind of fun. But it's like you've been working, toiling away, working so hard, and now you get the gifts and the opportunities that come from that space that you've created for yourself, that foundation that you've created for yourself, for your work. This could also be some sort of breakthrough involving an old health problem that you've been dwelling on and trying to work through, and finally a new opportunity comes, maybe for a new form of treatment or a new connecting with a new doctor, or especially a new alternative practitioner of some kind, with that Uranus energy being involved, somebody who's very high status and who's really sought after. And so if that's something that is applicable to you, go for it, because this is a great time for that, and you can find new innovative solutions to old health issues that have been bothering you for quite some time. But really, this is going to bring opportunities for you to feel more liberated and much more free, and to have a much better, more exciting experience on a day-to-day basis with your work and also with your health, if that's something that's been an issue for you in the past. All right, and then for Virgo rising. So for Virgos, this eclipse energy, so Virgos get a good eclipse. I just did a reading for someone who's a Virgo rising having this eclipse, and I love the way this lines up for Virgos because it's forming a grand trine with your sign, especially if you're a Virgo rising within those first 10 degrees, or a Virgo anything, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo Venus, within those first 10 degrees, you're going to be experiencing this energy way more positively than other people will. Not that this isn't like a more positive eclipse energy, but Still, for you, it's like all funneling into your ascendant or to your sun or moon. And this is occurring in your 5th house, which is the house of joy. And so this can bring exciting new opportunities to experience joy and to do things that you love to do because you love to do them, to connect with your passions and to connect with them fully and completely, especially to reconnect with an old passion or an old hobby or an old talent that is being carried over from earlier in this lifetime that's maybe been neglected or forgotten about, or is being carried over from a previous lifetime experience. And it's just a natural affinity that you have, and you feel really passionate, and you feel like you already know how to do this or connect with this energy in some way. This can also bring really incredible opportunities for travel to foreign countries, especially for pleasure and for fun. This can bring new romance into your life or reignite passions in old romances in your life. This could also bring really incredible new opportunities involving children or legal matters involving children, if that's applicable to you. And so it's a good time to set something in motion, especially if it's you revisiting an old issue and maybe resolving it in a new and exciting way once and for all involving your children. This could bring changes to your relationship with your children, but that can be experienced pretty positively. This could be you letting go of any burdensome, restrictive, like difficult energy involving your relationship with your children or the raising of children, and coming into something that just feels much more optimistic, much more open, much more expansive, where you feel like you can enjoy being a parent again, or enjoy it more, I should say. You probably didn't stop enjoying that completely, but it might have been a little heavier with that energy. You might have had more on your plate. It might have felt like more of a burden, and now it's opening up and it's feeling really good again. And this could even bring opportunities for your children, especially old opportunities that are coming back around, or really faded karmic opportunities that are coming back around. And this can change your life in a very positive way. You'll have this eclipse in trine with your ascendant and sextile with your descendant. This could pull you in a whole new direction in life, very gently and very positively, especially as it relates to relationships and romance. So this could bring about a new romance, especially like a new partnership with somebody who feels really familiar to you. This could change the way that you identify with the world. This could change your goals and your orientation in life, especially because of this newfound or rediscovered passion that you might come into this week and into next week. And so this is going to be a really powerful week. One of the best things I would recommend, though, is like travel plans or learning something or taking a class that you're really excited about for something that you're really passionate about, or that you have been passionate about for quite some time, or you were interested in the past, but you never really did anything with that. This would be a really great time for you to take hold of that, because it can provide for you opportunities that you can't even really fathom right now, especially coming into the eclipse, because usually the eclipse, you can't really see what's fully happening because it's eclipsed by something until after the eclipse occurs. And so that's Virgo and Virgo rising. I really like this energy for Virgos. I think it's going to feel really good for you. And whatever changes come for you, it could just be a small opportunity, but it would still be a really positive one. All right. And so for Libra and for Libra rising. So for you guys, this eclipse is actually happening in your 4th house, which is the house of home, family, property. It's the house that's associated with your place of living. And so this could be some sort of new opportunity that comes to you through that energy of home and property. And so it could be that you've been thinking about making a move, you've been thinking about relocating, you've been thinking about selling a property or buying a property, and an opportunity comes to you, especially if you've been kind of worrying about financing or having trouble in that realm. This will bring potentially a new opportunity or a new and innovative way of dealing with your finances around property or around purchasing some sort of real estate or something like that. This could also be some sort of new opportunity to deal with debt involving property in a new way. So if you have like a mortgage or something like that, this could bring an opportunity to refinance and save a ton of money, or to pay something off early or something along those lines. This could also really just bring a big reset to your family dynamic and your family relationships, where you can experience your family and connect with your family in more positive ways. This might bring up old issues involving your family and family dynamics, and maybe even some ancestral stuff or some past trauma or something like that that has occurred in early childhood within your family environment. However, it's going to provide opportunities for you to work through these issues and heal from this in new and exciting ways, or new and innovative ways, I should say. So you're going to be able to see things from a different perspective, and you're going to be able to work through old issues in new ways that you never would have thought of before. And so this can really change the dynamic in your family, and this can change your relationship with your family very intensely as a result of this eclipse energy. There is going to be, if you are a Libra rising within the first 10 degrees, there is going to be a square happening between this eclipse and your rising and your descendant sign. And so this might bring some sort of challenge in relationships, or some sort of like faded transition or change involving your relationships, or involving your own personal orientation in life, or involving your health, your body, your physical appearance in some way. And it could prove to be a little bit of a challenge, or a little bit more difficult. So this could be a really transformative eclipse for Libras in particular. But there is so much positive energy that I feel like even if there is a negative experience with this eclipse, especially in relationships, or some sort of challenge that comes up, it'll be something where it's like an overreaction, or it's overinflated at first, but the end results, I think, will be mostly positive. And so you definitely can have transitions in relationships so that can feel challenging and feel turbulent for Libra risings in particular. All right, and for Scorpio rising, so this is a really great energy for Scorpios. So you have this eclipse energy in your third house of communication, in sextile with your ascendant, sun or moon. And if you are a Scorpio ascendant, especially within those first 10 degrees in the sign of Scorpio, as I am, I'm 11 degrees. I'm going to give myself that orb. You're going to have this in trine with your descendant as well. And so this is going to bring powerful new connections and collaborations with other people. This could bring profound changes that come through some form of communication that's unexpected, and changes the dynamic of an important relationship in your life. This could bring changes to romantic partnerships that are very positive. This could bring changes through romantic partnerships that are very positive. But this could also bring connections with your community, like really important, new, close one-on-one connections with people who are in your immediate environment. This could really help you to strengthen your relationship with your neighbors, your community, your neighborhood. This could bring new opportunities for community-oriented types of pursuits and endeavors. This could bring new opportunities to connect with siblings and extended family members in really new and exciting ways, or to reconnect with those people in your life in new and exciting ways. And a lot of the stuck, stagnant energy in the third house is going to start to be cleared away, and you're going to see what's going to be expanded on in that area of communication, of neighborhood, of your neighbors and neighborhood, your community, of collaboration, of your mentality that's really been stifled for the past couple of years, because Saturn's been transiting there. It's still there, but this is kind of showing you where things are opening up, and it's providing some sort of opportunity for you involving marketing, communication, writing, teaching, publishing, connecting with people, community types of organizations and events, that type of thing. And so this can be powerful in ways that are very much associated with that third house energy, but this could also bring a new relationship. And this could bring a relationship that comes about in a way that's very unexpected for you. And that could be a romantic partnership, or it could be a close friendship, or a business-related partnership even. This could also change things in your current relationship in a very positive way if you are in an established long-term committed partnership. And so your partner could be going through some sort of change that could be really exciting, and a really exciting message can come through that changes the dynamic of your relationship in a positive way, that reignites your excitement, that switches things up in a way that releases you from any stagnancy or dullness in the partnership. And so this is going to be an exciting eclipse for Scorpio rising. It's also going to be sextiling your ascendant, and so this can bring changes that completely change your direction in life. This could bring opportunities, I should say, that completely change your direction in life. And especially coming into next week, there could be a really important message or communication that feels fated, that feels synchronistic, that just shows up out of nowhere, out of the blue, and causes you to have to redirect or reorient yourself in some way. And that message will most likely have positive results. All right, for Sagittarius and for Sagittarius rising. So for you guys, this is happening in the sign of Capricorn. And so you've been having a lot of really repressive, oppressive, challenging energy around your resources and the way that you create resources. In the best expression of this, maybe you've been having to work really hard to save money for an important purchase or to pay off debts. In the more challenging expression of this, maybe your finances have been limited in some way, or you felt really oppressed by the way that you're creating your resources. And so it's been kind of a frustrating time, but now some sort of opportunity is about to open up for you financially. And that comes through your work, especially your connections with your coworkers and your peers and people that you would collaborate with on a day-to-day basis through your work, but also just a change that shifts the dynamic of the workplace or shifts your day-to-day routines and activities related to work in a very positive way. And so this can bring really incredible, powerful new opportunities financially for you. You might get some sort of recognition or maybe a holiday bonus that comes in unexpectedly and allows you to maybe finally pay off those debts or finish that saving for that big purchase, and you can finally make it. Maybe an opportunity for a really big investment or a big purchase that you've been wanting to make comes about. Maybe a new financial opportunity in relationship to a new job, or even like maybe a side job or something like that you can incorporate into your work experience on a day-to-day basis, opens you up to more freedom when it comes to the way that you create your resources or the way that you use your resources. But this is really about work-related and financial opportunities for Sagittarius rising and sun signs, but especially Sagittarius rising signs. There's going to be something that can open up, or the sense that something's opening up for you the first week of this forecast. And then into the second week, you can get a really important message, and you can start to fully comprehend and understand what it is that's being aligned for you right now and what direction you need to move into when it comes to your financial well-being. And so it's a powerful week for Sagittarius as well. And then for Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this is happening for you guys in your first house, or connected to your sun or to your moon sign, if that's what you're listening to. And again, if you are a Capricorn sun sign, this eclipse and the next eclipse are going to be impacting you pretty heavily. And so I do have a 2-hour forecast for Capricorns for your solar return for the year ahead, and so you can find the link to access that down in the description below. It's a 2-hour video forecast where we get into the general energy of your solar return, which if your solar return is this week, you have a big crazy year ahead. Like everything's going to change for you, but luckily this is a more positive eclipse energy. And it also goes into the more detail of what's going on throughout the year. But for everyone for this week and into next week, this is a really life-changing couple of weeks for you guys, especially if you are a Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising within those first 10 degrees. This can provide powerful new opportunities for you where you can really take hold of the gifts from your past experience, of latent talents, of opportunities that maybe you've missed in the past that come back around in a new and exciting and fated and synchronistic way. This is one of those eclipses where your whole life changes, where everything resets, where you have really powerful endings in all areas of life, on a personal level, in your relationships, in your career, and in your family life too, that change your entire life, that change your destiny, that change your trajectory in life, and turn everything upside down. But luckily, these are positive opportunities that allow you to engage more with your passions, with your hobbies, your interests, with the things that you love to do, with your joy, because this is going to be in a really nice trine with Uranus in your 5th house. This could also bring opportunities involving your children if you have any. So maybe, there's something that's been going on where you've been wanting to get your child into a really special, awesome school, and that comes up for you, and it changes things, and it allows you more time because your kid's in school to do the work that you want to do, and to find more meaning and purpose in life, and to experience more joy, and to just do the things that you love to do because you love to do that. Maybe this is going to be an opportunity for a new romance that comes in too, or to reignite passions in your current romance. Really, you could get some sort of recognition for all of the hard work you've been putting in, because you've been very responsible. You've been working really diligently over the past couple of years and carrying a lot of weight. And now you can see why you had to do what you had to do, and what opportunities are going to be coming for you in the year ahead as a result of that foundation you've created. It's like you finally get that reward, that delayed gratification for the work you've been putting in. And next week, there could be a really important message that comes to you personally in a very unexpected way that changes your life and throws you in a whole new direction, or it helps you to understand the changes that you're going through and what choices you need to make. And so this is really, a major turning point for a lot of Capricorn sun and rising signs and Capricorn moon signs. There you go. And then for Aquarius and for Aquarius rising. All right, for you guys, this is going to be a little bit more internalized when it comes to the effects of this eclipse, because it's happening in the 12th house. This is going to be more about endings, but it's going to be really positive endings. It's like you're finally letting go of something that you've been holding on to for way, way, way too long. It could be a past life experience or past life karma or a past life connection to somebody in your current lifetime that is way past its expiration date and that you need to let go of. These are going to be profound endings that change your life and throw you in a whole new direction, that allow you more space for rest, for solitude, for true spiritual connection and true connection with your inner world, with your inner self. This is going to potentially bring some sort of opportunity that could come about involving a spiritual retreat, or the ability to go off and kind of do something in solitude to enhance your spiritual connection to the world. This could really, I feel like this is going to be more about letting go of things, though. This could help you to let go of old karma and past situations that are stuck and stagnant and that cause you to feel frustrated or repressed in some way related to your family dynamic or your family situation or past experiences within the family unit, especially in early childhood. This could also be you letting go of a situation involving property or ownership of property or your place of living that you finally get to move past and you finally get to let go of. I do feel like for a lot of Aquarius risings, though, this might be an ending having to do with family or having to do with something involving family, but it's going to be a change that's going to be experienced positively. It's going to be like a liberation and like a sigh of relief. But this is really you wrapping up a lot. So this is you wrapping things up, letting go of anything from your past that no longer serves you. And in that space, you'll create new opportunities, and those opportunities will allow you to have a better balance between working, and being out in the world, and spending more time in solitude, spending more time taking care of your inner needs and your spiritual well-being. All right, for Pisces and for Pisces rising. So this eclipse energy is happening in your 11th house. And so this is another really great, powerful, positive eclipse energy for Pisces in particular, because not only is this in your 11th house, which is a nice house, but it's going to be, this eclipse will be in trine with your descendant and in sextile with your ascendant, especially if you are a Pisces rising within those first 10 degrees in the sign of Pisces. And so this configuration here, this eclipse, is going to bring powerful new opportunities to connect with groups of like-minded people that feel familiar, that feel fated, because they are fated. So this is you making fated, like important karmic connections with people that you might already know from a previous lifetime, but you just don't realize it in this lifetime. So you'll have these synchronistic occurrences that pull you in a new direction when it comes to your social circle. This could bring opportunities to join some sort of club or organization organization or form a club and organization, or to reconnect with friends who you really cared about and you really experienced those friendships positively in the past, but for some reason they fell away. You can have new opportunities to reconnect and to reinvigorate those old relationships, especially the ones that are really solid that maybe you've left behind for one reason or another, and maybe that season passed, but it's coming back around for you to engage with these people for a fated purpose. This would be a really great time. This is a time where you could get some sort of social recognition too. So you could go get some recognition for the work you've been putting in your 10th house of career. You could get some sort of recognition through some sort of networking event or some sort of award that you could receive, and that could come about in a way that's really fated. You can get an opportunity to connect with groups of people through some sort of social network, through the internet or something like that, or some sort of really important platform that you've been wanting to connect with in some way or connect with people through. And this could bring a really powerful connection or a really powerful communication that comes in next week. So coming into the second week here, you can get a really important message from a friend, especially someone from your past, but really it could be a new connection with a new friend, or you can get a really important message involving your community, or you can have some sort of short distance travel plans that come up involving your friends or involving groups of people. And these can provide for you opportunities that you never would have expected, you never would have taken hold of in the past, or the message that comes in, the insight that comes in, because this could just literally just be a really powerful insight. The insight and inspiration that comes in will awaken you to new opportunities for dealing with old issues involving your friendships or your community connections in new, exciting, and innovative ways. So it can help you to make positive changes in those areas. I would say new friends and new group connections are going to be the biggest thing, or a resurgence or reemergence of old connections that are really important. All right, and that is Pisces. So that is all 12 signs. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and for subscribing to my channel. Please, if you do enjoy this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends if you feel like this information can help them to navigate the holidays. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Astrology with Heather. And also, if you're really interested in learning about astrology, I have a Facebook group that's completely free. Everyone can join it, called Astrology Stories, which is really great for helping people to connect the energy of the astrology in their charts and the transits that are going on with real life situations and examples of how this plays out. And so you can find that on Facebook. Just search Astrology Stories. And thank you guys so much. It's been a really wonderful year. It's been a whirlwind, a lot of changes on a personal and professional level. And you guys have been so awesome throughout this entire time period. I am so grateful for everyone who subscribes to this channel and follows my work. And just thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful holiday and a really happy new year. Bye, everyone. I'll see you guys next year.